A word for our listeners. Achtung Cthulhu is set in the 1930s and 40s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to Masks of Nyarlathotep, a Nerds Domain gaming podcast. Join us each week as our investigators uncover the corruption of the mythos in World War II. Starring George Chimples, Phil Durham, Rob Walker, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as the keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed Nazi cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Nerds Domain Presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Shirley.
Hello.
Rob.
I'm having a good time.
Phil.
Howdy, howdy.
And Jesse.
Hi.
And does anybody remember where we were at last time? All right.
Manlickman?
We were
Ehrlichmann. Yeah, right.
What did you call him?
Manlickman.
Okay. Ehrlichmann.
Germany.
Is that no? You were in Vienna, Austria. Jesse.
Austria.
Same place.
No.
That's like saying Arnold Schwarzenegger came from Germany. That's not what happened.
So
We're in Austria.
you were in Austria, Jesse.
Austria.
Your character just met with Giselle. Do you remember that?
Gazelle? Yeah.
And she gave you some information.
And your niece gave you the evil eye.
As she does.
Shirley's going to hold a grudge as well as that character.
Yes.
So
to make her a harlot.
I have two handouts.
Hey.
He did.
He did try and make you a harlot.
Oh, I thought you said
Tried.
I was a harlot.
No. There was an attempt.
Well,
Attempt failed. I think that's fair.
Justin?
Did I
it
read
was
that?
for your own good.
Did I read that attempt correctly? That it failed.
If I remember right, yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
it failed.
lot of argument against this. I thought it was a good idea.
So there are two pieces of information that she gives you. A page from Ehrlichmann's notebook.
Ehrlichmann.
Ehrlichmann. So he
Yeah.
gives.
Ehrlichman's dead, right?
Ehrlichmann is dead. Giselle's suggestion is that she believes that he was killed by the Nazis.
As they do.
She hands you two things. You're meeting in the park. She hands you two items, a page from Ehrlichmann's notebook and a letter from him as well. The page says, and I'm going to read this so that our listeners at home can hear it, and then I'm going to hand these out to the players here. Jesse, sorry about your luck.
No.
Sorry about you.
It has long been my intention to investigate further the stories told to me by my mentor, Herr Dr. Bergdorf, regarding the discoveries made in Sais before the Great War. And now, with the burgeoning interest of our Germanic history and inheritance, I feel this is the perfect time to embark upon this journey, wherever it may take me. But each journey begins with a small step, and I must first locate the DOG archives and retrieve the notes he made on the Black Stone and its strange tales of the descendants of a lost civilization. Perhaps those stories were the misrememberings of an old man, but as a scholar, I feel that I cannot ignore what could be a very important lead in the quest to discover the truth behind our Aryan heritage. The boxes should be in, and that is where that particular page ends. This has clearly been removed from the notebook. She also hands you a letter that is addressed to her. There is no envelope, just my dearest G. Please, first let me apologize for leaving so abruptly. You must understand that if the circumstances were any different, I would never have felt the need to do so. If I have hurt your feelings, please forgive me. That was never my intention. These last few weeks have proven to be the most difficult of my career. The triumph of my deciphering the archive has been tempered by the seemingly endless strange meetings I have had to endure as a result. These have prompted me to set my affairs in order, and I have gone home to think on my future. Should anything happen to me, know that I love you. Your dearest B. So those are the two notes. Those are the two pieces of paper that Giselle gives to Augustus. Jestin.
Okay.
So we may or may not get this information from Augustus.
That's a good question. I don't know what he's doing with it, but those are definitely
In
given to him.
typical spy fashion, I will quickly burn the letters.
Eat them.
So she gives you those, and she says, "You may contact me." There was conversation about this last time about how to contact her. Not a big deal. That should be pretty easy to do. Until you have more information, though, I leave you to look into this. And then she kind of waits, just kind of wondering if there's going to be any questions from you. But if you don't have any immediate questions, she's going to leave in a relatively quick fashion.
I'll let her leave.
Okay. And as I remember, the rest of you were kind of like not hovering in the park, but being inconspicuous while watching.
Creeping.
So
Oh,
I
totally
would wait
creepy.
until he, until she is out of sight, away from him, and start walking up to him.
Okay.
I guess I'll wait for them to come here. I don't know if it'd be safe for us all to meet here or not in case we were watched, but sure, come on up.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'll just go back to the
Wave
Or
off, wave
motel
off,
room.
wave off.
and Rob, you are the spy here. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So you might have set up for them for everybody to like
Meet
kind of
back
break
at the
and then
hotel
meet back
or
okay.
somewhere. Right.
Okay, so let's assume that you guys do that, and
Okay.
that somebody has the suite because you have the money, the British money backing you at this point, so you can afford things.
I'm going to finish sketching the locals, and then after everyone is gone, I will be the last to leave.
Okay, so I would assume everybody leaves.
Or
Then
were
a few.
you and I together?
No, there was no determined who was where and what,
okay.
other than George clearly had a newspaper that he cut holes out for his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, Carlos.
Who
and
is
I
this
were
George?
together.
Oh,
Yeah.
so George is not with us tonight. For our listeners at home, he could not make this evening, and we decided that we really needed to kind of play without him so we could keep the episodes going and coming
Slacker.
out at a regular pace. So we miss George, and we hope he comes back next episode. Hopefully that won't be a problem schedule-wise, but yeah, we'll get there.
My point was more that there is no character named George.
Oh yes,
And only a
Carlos.
Carlos.
was sitting, or was actually George sitting there with it. And
Yes,
Carlos
George
somebody
was.
who- okay.
This is definitely something that George would do.
Yeah.
So
That
is
would've
there
been
like
amazing.
a crossover parallel
is
universe thing
that?
going now? Because I missed that episode then,
There is
Which-
always a
which
crossover
episode?
parallel universe.
where George showed up and Carlos
George
came
is the
here.
doctor.
Air Doctor.
Ah,
He didn't go to doctor school to not be called Air Doctor. So, you guys all meet back up at the hotel after I'd say probably half hour or so.
Okay.
Da.
I will.
I'm glad that you're speaking German.
do you have a German skill?
No. That
Only a
was-
little one, but
So, you guys meet back up at the hotel after about half an hour or so, all taking different routes and so on and so forth. Jestin, what are
Yes.
you telling
I
them?
will tell them the contents of the meeting and pass around the paperwork,
Okay, so
freely sharing the information.
as a reminder to our players who have not played in over a month, actually that was mostly Robin or George and Phil that couldn't do September or August because some could do one and then the other one couldn't do the
Anywho,
other.
can we move on? Whoa.
Wow.
This is how she talks to me all the time.
chop,
Nope.
chop,
I
chop.
tell ya.
Well, then you must like it.
Kind of. So you guys, she essentially told Jesse that, or I'm sorry, she essentially told Augustus that she knew that Botho Ehrlichmann had been followed and had been questioned by members of some sort of a cult group within the Nazi party, and that it had become dangerous for him, and that's why part of the reason he came home. And when she came here to find him, she found him dead. He had been. The official story that was reported to the authorities is that he had died in the wilderness of exposure, but she knows different. She feels in her heart that it's different.
So B is actually
Botho
both of
Ehrlichman.
Okay.
It's a terrible.
Because
name,
I
Botho.
know. I was wondering if we knew of a B.
No, yeah, Botho.
Both of
Yeah, both Ehrlichmans.
both of them.
Do you hand each
Yes,
person there
I've
the
passed
letter
the
and
paperwork around. I'll pass it first over to the new guy.
Astor.
Yeah. No, the new person. Rob's character name?
Astor.
I don't. Astor.
Yeah.
Okay, I said the pastor.
No.
I don't think he's religious.
Burn the witches. Gotcha.
So, yeah. So
Witches get stitches.
Robert, can you give me an espionage roll?
That was a double ought.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesse, can you give me an espionage roll?
yeah.
So I got
Hang
like
on a
perfect
second here.
100.
I would love
Ten
Which
to
is
give
which is
an-
a 0,
I
or
would-
which is 100, which means you fail.
I got a
Oh,
64.
and this one I forgot.
yeah,
That's not
epic
just a fail. That's a
Critical fail.
critical
Critical
fail.
So
fail.
did he just like tear the paper by accident?
He lights himself on fire.
He may come to a very erroneous conclusion.
And the paper turned into a werewolf.
Erogenous.
Now we're back to where we were.
Erroneous.
Yes.
Erogenous. Wow.
I did not say that.
I would like to make an espionage roll.
Well, you have not handled anything yet, so I'm not going to have you make one yet.
Okay.
Jesse, did you
I
make
wouldn't be
one?
able to anyway.
I doubt it. I got a 64.
Why?
Because you didn't give me my dice.
They're on the table.
Where? I don't see them. Thank you, Phil.
I hate it when mommy and daddy fight.
No, I did not make an espionage roll because I got a 64 and my espionage is apparently 10.
He doesn't even have espionage.
He was supposed to put some into it.
Was
thought
I?
he did.
Put some
Did
into
I?
it. Really.
Oh,
Come
well.
on now.
Too late.
Doesn't matter. It
Are
didn't
we
work.
two? Are we 12? Like, are we 12 tonight? Is
Yes.
that what we're going
When
with?
do I not behave as if I'm 12?
All right.
It's a fair question. So are you passing these letters around, the paperwork around?
What's left of them? Apparently.
Nothing catches on fire. You don't burst into flames personally.
There was a candle on the table. He accidentally lit them on fire.
You now believe every
I
conspiracy.
forgot about the double ought problem in this game.
Yeah.
Where you think I'm like, oh, this is the best damn roll I can get. No, it's not. You did.
It's the
terrible.
opposite of the best roll you could get.
I know. It makes my heart
The
sad.
worst. At least you weren't firing a gun. It would have malfunctioned.
Oh,
It could have been
exploded
bad.
in your face.
At least it wasn't on espionage like you're out in the field and you'd be like, I'm a spy. Someone found me. No.
You need to. You're speaking to a German. You need to say yes, and you say
Jai.
Si, senor.
Oh, ¿se hablo español?
Or
Aquí trabajo.
from a movie that you've yet to see, you roll your Italian and your response to hello is buongiorno. So you hand the
You'll get
letter
that.
around. Shirley
I don't think he ever will.
and Phil, would you guys like to roll espionage? Espionage.
Ooh, yeah, I want to roll.
You want to roll it with the dice?
How else could they roll
Oh
it?
my goodness!
Yeah, that's a good question, Jesse.
Did you get your espionage?
With an odd 6 under my 10, I got my espionage.
Boom! Look at you, super spy.
Well, Astor's like, I see nothing strange with these, and Blake is like, huh? This feels, and then he kind of smells it. He goes, it smells like lemon. Why would this smell like lemon? And you realize, Astor, that that's a way that you can do disappearing ink on paper.
Gotcha.
So you kind of hold it in front of the flame a little bit, and you are greeted with a symbol and some words that I'm going to pull out.
He's gonna pull it out.
I'm sorry, I'll read this. It says,
Oh, okay.
look to the Mexican apothecary's bookshop. There lies the
messed up my
key to unlock the gates of history. And then it has a little picture of something.
I would look at Carlos at this time.
It's upside down.
You're looking at it upside down.
You're looking at the Spaniard about the Mexican bookshop. Are you seriously being racist?
I like it. Let's do that. No. Let's do that.
Okay,
You just
I
assumed
wish he
since
was
spoke
here.
Spanish, he's from Mexico?
I really want to do that. Can we do that? Can we go down this line? I really like this.
I don't know if any of us can do the right indignation that Carlos.
Yeah,
would
I don't
have.
think, no.
No.
He just
Is-
smiles with the
Wait.
face and it goes crumble, 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 crumble.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm just wondering, like, is this a wolf? What is
Is
this?
it?
Somebody in a cape?
Is it?
Looks
I don't know, Matt. Is
Perhaps
it? I can't
as
see
I
it.
say, as I say, perhaps before we continue
hands.
this,
Two hands on a book.
before we
with
continue
stars?
As a
asking, maybe
book,
we can
it-
all look at it.
Yeah, could you hand it around so everybody else could look at it?
Oh, okay.
What is this, guys? I don't know. We haven't seen it.
You have to take a picture for Jestin.
Okay,
It's a
fine.
spooky witch.
Astor does not say that.
No,
I
I
want to
did.
see it.
Then be here.
I'm here.
No, I was talking to Jesse, goof.
Oh. Send Jesse a
Okay.
picture.
I'm gonna. Would
Now we
you
can discuss it.
patient?
Oh, you only have one copy?
Does it look
Yeah.
like a wolf?
I'm working on it, guys.
Maybe.
Am I?
Looks more like
Does
a
anyone
book and a
know
sword
the
or something.
symbol?
I'm guessing that when we get to the apothecary shop, then we might recognize it there.
Haven't you studied this kind of cult stuff?
I have a bit.
That was Astor asking you, not me. Good. I'm sure you couldn't tell because of the Tootsie Roll, but that's all right.
We all know Rob.
And
is
I,
after
I
reading
was
it.
Tootsie Roll? That's not
answering
cool.
as Evelyn. So, or Evie. No, wait, Evelyn.
Well, I didn't hear the accent, so I didn't know.
Matt,
Yeah.
I
Matt,
don't have it.
Matt,
Hey, Jesse.
Matt. Can I make it a cult roll?
You sure can, but only you.
No, oh. I'm not gonna do anything.
Let me
I
see
rolled
that
a
Tootsie
3.
Roll.
Okay, it sounds
Nice.
like
I'm
you
not
succeeded.
sure what my cult roll is, but I'm pretty sure I made it.
It is the symbol of the Sphinx Reading Club. You are familiar with this.
Oh, that makes sense. Hey, yeah, that's the symbol for my reading club.
The one I go to all the time. That's our symbol.
You have a book
Yeah.
club?
Yeah, he
It's a
talked
good thing
about
I
this.
recognize it.
And you know that the Mexican apothecary, it. Could you roll a knowledge on me for that, or knowledge on that for me?
Sure.
Which?
I don't know what my knowledge is, but I got a 98.
You have no idea
you,
what
you
that
clearly don't know what your knowledge is.
what that taps into,
And suddenly the senility kicked in.
right?
Which document had the hidden message?
It was the
Uncle.
letter.
The letter? Okay.
The one that smelled like lemon that I wasn't good at.
No. You don't know what lemons smell like, which is weird.
He really
my
likes
nose
the
is
smell of
on
lemon, and
fire.
it just made him hungry.
You
And
should
He's
know.
not familiar with lemon
You
face,
drink
lion
tea.
face.
Oh no, you drink Ole
I'm French.
Cafe.
Yeah.
Espresso.
French.
Espresso. No, that's not even anywhere near French.
Yeah.
That's Italian.
So, what are you guys doing?
Standing
Tell
there
us-
looking
I think
at
we need to go to
piece of
my
paper.
book club or this apothecary.
Are those two different things?
Is that two different things?
You're so good at your character.
You remember
Jesse.
that failed knowledge roll?
Yeah.
You're not sure. Actually,
I don't know
check,
where we
check
meet
your
at.
knowledge.
Maybe it's there.
Jesse, look at your character sheet. Check your knowledge.
Let's go to the apothecary.
Da-da-da-da.
I think
You're
that'd
so
be
good
No
at
way,
your
I have
character.
100 knowledge.
Wonderful idea.
No, you have a 99 though.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Knowledge.
Top
It's the
left
top
hand
left.
corner.
I wasn't even looking at the
Oh,
sheet.
that's up at the
I was
top.
pretty sure it was
It's
there. I was
under
just confirming it for
no.
you.
Oh,
It's under K's for knowledge.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Mexican.
I'm smart.
Yeah, that's how high education works. Mexican apothecary is
That's
potentially.
not how my high education
Can I
works.
finish?
No.
No.
The Mexican apothecary, Jesse,
Yes.
probably refers to Precht, who you went and saw last game.
Oh, the Mexican apothecary probably refers to Pretch. I met him yesterday.
You just met this person?
No, you know.
No.
him.
I bumped into him again. Like, yeah.
By
I
bumping
see
into him, he went to his shop.
I'm going to warn you now, he's a bit creepy.
That's true.
Did you
We-
learn anything from this gentleman?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
So
There's been a lot of people being ran out of the city, shopkeepers and things like that. I basically talked about that and was seeing why the town was getting roughed up. And he just said, yeah, it's getting roughed up.
Jesse does remember things.
yeah, occasionally. So you guys you have two leads: the Sphinx Book Club and the Mexican Apothecary, which is really a bookstore. Where would you like to go?
Now, I like the Sphinx Book Club people. The other guy's kind of a jerk.
Okay.
So I say we go to him.
Okay.
I would like to go to the Mexican apothecary because that's where the key to unlock the gates of history apparently are.
Okay. So
I would like to as well.
So bookstore then.
Bookstore.
Which is
we're expressing our votes. We have
Astor.
different-
Astor.
Well, that's 3 for the bookstore. It doesn't really matter what he says, right?
Well, I thought you said that you wanted to go to your book club.
No, you
No.
said bookstore.
Oh, okay.
Guess we're going to the bookstore.
All right.
Shall we all accompany
Do-
each other together?
Do we have a chain of command?
You?
No, yeah, kind of you.
All right, sweet.
You're in charge, which is terrifying.
I'm getting executed.
If he
The
didn't
old
execute
version
the
of you shows up,
yeah,
you're definitely
if
getting
he didn't execute
executed.
the old one, he's not going to execute this one for being a
Can I
jerk.
play him again when he comes back and he's evil?
No,
You sure?
Yeah.
I'd be really good at it.
no.
I think you would be really good at it.
The little bookshop in the name.
Little Shop of Horror, got it.
The little bookshop in the nameless street in Old Town is hardly a welcoming sight. The meager display of books in the shop's windows are covered with a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. The windows themselves are equally filthy and faded, and a faded watercolor poster depicting a scene from Wolfram von Eschenbach's Parzival, probably intended as an advertisement for the shop's wares, hangs askew in one of them.
Can you spell it?
Parzival?
Yeah.
Parzival. Are we all looking this up? Like, what the heck?
I was waiting until they got it.
I want to look at this image.
That's fine. Like, I didn't expect both of you to pick up your phones. I assume that's what we're all looking up, right, Shirley?
Yes.
She's using this time to check Facebook.
Right?
I don't think it's that image. That doesn't match what you described.
Parzival.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Wolfram von Eschenbach.
Yes. Oh, okay, I found it.
Is it a guy with a sword trying to kill two other people?
No.
Maybe it's
This one?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Let me see.
We'll go with that. Doesn't matter. The interior of the shop is no more prepossessing than its exterior. Books are piled everywhere, on shelves, on stools, on the floor. Many have slid into shapeless heaps that make navigating between the bookshelves a constant hazard to life and limb. The air is heavy with the smell of moldering tomes, tobacco smoke, and unfamiliar herbs, while strange paintings and art objects dangle at uncomfortable angles from the crowded walls.
Dangles at the angles, got it.
As you enter, there doesn't seem to be anyone inside, but once you hear the hollow clonk of the bell above the door, Ernst Precht comes out.
Does the bell actually go clonk?
Yeah, unlike a normal like cling cling cling, it has lost its inner like ding-a-ling. I don't know what that's called.
It's a hammer, I believe.
It is a hammer. I like ding-a-ling better.
It has lost its little inner ding-a-ling, and now it's just the door hitting the bell, and it goes clonk.
That's a really weird sound. That's kind of creepy.
I like that. Do that again.
Clonk.
Thank you.
Where did it lose?
What?
What's missing on this bell?
The inner ding-a-ling?
You know, I think our numbers have gone up because of the inner ding-a-ling. There you go.
Well, it is missing, and now this is going to turn into the quest to find the inner ding-a-ling.
ding-a-ling.
That's the key.
I think Rob and Phil are fully on this quest already.
Finding the ding-a-ling?
Yeah, finding their inner ding-a-ling.
Yep.
So Ernst greets you, Jesse. He greets Augustus. Good evening, Herr Hammer Stomenberg. I don't remember what I gave your character's name.
I don't either.
You're supposed to write that down. It's actually in your notes.
It is, but you have my notes.
No, I don't. They're on Drive, Jesse.
Oh, are they? Oops.
Yeah, that's.
Oh well, too late.
I'd like all of our listeners to know that we're clearly the most put together role-playing group
Ever.
known to man.
Ever.
You should catch our behind-the-scenes stuff.
So, what
Patreon.
can I do for you this evening?
Hi. Let's see. How's it been going?
Good. You were just in here. We had this conversation.
I know. I'm just looking for a key.
Okay. Are you there?
Hey guys, should we show them the note? Hello, can you hear me?
No.
Yes, they can hear you.
Oh,
What note do you speak of, Uncle?
the note. You know, the one that talks about the key that unlocks the gates of history.
This is in character speech right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the best spy. We already established. I would like to remind everyone we established this last time when he went to his shop and said, "Hey, I know you've been helping me for the last little bit, but you never met me. Here, take this thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars and flee for your life."
Yes. Yes.
As a wealthy individual, I'm not quite sure how the real world works. So.
So at what point can I shank Jesse? That's the real big question here because
Let's start with a
can't
gag.
shank Jesse, but you
Well,
can
his
shank
character.
Augustus.
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We're just looking around.
I would. So
My friends are wanting to visit.
German. What is the amount that they speak here?
All of it.
Okay.
We established before we got here that this guy's not in the Sphinx reading club.
That's
right?
correct.
Right.
So, yeah, I guess I'll just see what he says in response to all the things that.
He looks a little
Augustus.
confused and waiting for someone to say something.
I would ask in German if he has a copy of oh my gosh, what's his name? The German author's Arthurian poem.
What?
Percival?
It's not how you spell it.
Parzival?
Yeah, Parzival.
Close.
And if
Yeah,
I could
close to
see a
Ehrlichmann.
copy of it.
I may have a copy here somewhere.
I'm
Do
looking
you mind
around.
if I peruse?
No, go right ahead.
Oh, okay, so I will go peruse.
I'm looking around for anything that matches that symbol,
Mm-hmm.
as
That's
well
what
as
I was doing.
any occult books.
Okay.
And I'm kind of watching like his posture and his response to us.
He still seems a little confused because you've talked about a note and then you
Hey,
quit talking
leave
about a note.
us out of this.
I'm sure I've said a lot of weird things to this guy.
I... So am I, Jesse. So am I.
All right. Okay. So you guys start wandering around the shop and he looks back to Augustus. So I'm sorry, what can I help you with today, Augustus?
I'm just showing my friends around town, and this is one of the few bookshops that actually have anything of interest in it. So figured I'd bring him
when
here
we
and let
walk
him
by,
check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
kick him in the shin, or I'm gonna kick him in the ankle.
Okay. Roll your kick, I guess.
Come on, one.
You don't want him to get a 1.
I know.
I got a 3.
He breaks my ankle.
Yeah, he kicks you. You feel it very clearly.
What's up?
I don't say anything. I just keep walking.
Brian, you find... roll your occult.
13.
Under...
50.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Ooh, buddy.
you find there are a lot of occult books. Some maybe not as helpful as others, but there's a ton of occult type books in here. Some in good shape, some in questionable shape, some in piles.
So you said that the ones in the window had lots of dust.
Yeah, the ones in here are not in any better cared condition.
There aren't any that seem to have perhaps been more recently
Moved.
interacted with or moved. Yeah.
Not that you're seeing, no.
Okay, I'll just
Can
keep
I
looking for
walking?
anything.
Okay.
If anything on Atlantis jumps out at me, I'd pay particular attention to that.
Okay. Augustus?
I am looking for Atlantean books as well.
Okay. So you
I'll
guys
just completely ignore the guy now.
So now the four of
As I
you are
typically
wandering
do.
a shop after. Okay, all right. Yeah, this isn't odd at all.
We're an odd bunch.
He kind of straightens up his little counter, but doesn't really straighten it. Just kind of moves some stuff from one side to the other and leaves
Whenever
a,
I get
a complete mess.
Whenever I get out of sight of him, I'm going to rearrange a lot of the books.
Okay.
I don't overly like this guy.
Okay. So you do that.
Do any of us observe that?
Yeah, I'm sure all of you observe it.
Yeah, he's a terrible spy.
Okay.
We've covered this.
Yeah.
I'm not really trying to hide it.
Does the shopkeeper notice it because he's a bad
No,
spy?
no. He's good enough to keep hidden from that, I guess.
I give him a sideway glance. What are you doing?
Who, what, me?
Yes.
Looking for books on Atlantis. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm looking for occult and as well as the poem that I talked about earlier.
Parzival.
First of all,
So I'm going to talk to the shopkeep.
Okay.
I'm going to ask him, so if everyone is Well, I mean, if all the other shops around you are getting shut down, what keeps you open?
Well, I'm proper.
Proper how?
I'm German. Aryan through and through.
Oh, are you?
I am. I come from a long line of Germans.
Oh, really?
Right. I'm not some mongrel race.
What brought you to Austria?
My family's lived here for years.
Oh, what brought them?
I'm not sure. I mean, my father did spend some time in Mexico as a low-level dignitary.
Okay.
But we've lived here. I've lived here pretty much my entire life, except for my time there.
Do you make it back to Germany often?
To Germany? No, I make it to Austria quite often. I don't think I've ever been to Germany proper.
We're in Austria currently.
That's correct.
Right. So he makes it here often.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're clarifying that.
Confusing.
So I make it down the street to my house often. Yep, and then back here to the shop often.
It's a long walk.
I'm Aryan through and through. I'm pure blood. I'm not a Mongol, and I never go back to the home country.
Sure.
Okay.
No, this is all. Well, you also have to understand politically for the time, this is all the home country. Austria was annexed because it's German. That's the reasoning. Whether or not that's actually the case, that was the reasoning,
Okay.
or at least the reasoning given. So,
Okay.
was there anything specific you guys were looking for?
I'm going to continue to kind of ignore him. Like, I'll keep an eye on him, but not respond to him.
Okay.
When I'm done, when I've taken a solid inventory of the books, I'll just survey the entire shop.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, my friend over here is a fan of the eclectic, and seems like you have quite a bit of different.
That is definitely something you could say about my shop, is that my collection is not your normal collection.
So where do you like to bring your books in from? Or is this a worldwide collection? Or I'm not a book guy. I don't know a lot of the.
A lot of what I've got here is cultivated purchases from the last couple of decades. With the poor downturn in the economy, a lot of the wealthy were selling off book collections, and I grabbed what I could out of those. Some of these are previous nobility book collections that were sold off to cover debts when the nobility was, taken care of. Do you speak German?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your German? You don't have to roll it. Just
Fitty.
okay. What kind of are you trying to affect a specific accent, like an Austrian accent or a German accent or a
No, just
Bavarian
regular, just a German accent.
Just-
Whatever be comfortable in a character to speak German.
okay?
Like,
Okay.
I've clearly learned it, like, right? Because
Right.
I'm
Right.
comfortable with it, but it's like I'm not trying to hide that it's not my native tongue.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to, I'm obviously comfortable with the speech, right?
Right.
Right.
So when the Habsburgs were ousted, a lot of those collections were up for grabs, and I procured some of what I have here from that.
Well, I mean, your shop must be doing good then if you can afford that kind of.
You're picking up that he may have stolen a bunch of books from noble houses, which doesn't seem like that. You're not super surprised. This place is not exactly
A little sketchy.
Yeah, there's some sketch here.
Okay.
You're among your people.
I feel good.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of here and there. Just depends on what I could find and when. And sometimes a buy is too good to be true, and sometimes a buy is just good.
Okay.
And you want to grab that when you can. There are a lot of bidding hands when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Like who?
There are 4 or 5 other shops here. There are some reading clubs that would definitely want to expand their libraries. Generally, libraries sometimes would like rare tomes. There's a bit of prestige that goes along with that.
Right.
And then, private collectors. Sometimes a private collector will buy an entire load of books just for a book or two.
Like in the local area here, or
anywhere. Just about anywhere. Yeah.
Well, so you're getting people from all over that are really. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't advertise, but the people in the know where to go.
Oh, okay.
So, Anything else, guys?
Is there like a back room to the shop? Or...
Yeah, behind the counter, there's clearly like a worn kind of curtain that he came out from behind. So you would assume at least an office, if not his living quarters as well.
So with Augustus and I looking, would we find anything on his shelves of interest?
There's a lot of stuff of interest. I mean, it just depends on what you want to study.
In regards to what we are searching for and dealing with now.
No, there's nothing here that's jumping out at you as the key to the gate of history.
Oh, I think I've seen.
Is there any kind of like propaganda, Nazi propaganda, any kind of support?
Not in the shop.
Not nothing he's displaying.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, no, nothing directly in the shop.
I would say in English that I think I've seen what there is to be seen right now.
Anything of interest to you?
I mean, is it pretty small? Like we can hear each other?
Yeah, I mean, it might be a little muffled with all the books, but you can definitely hear that conversation he had with the shop owner.
Oh. No, just searching for the poem, but I can't seem to find it.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I'm positive that I have a copy or two. I'm not the best at organization.
Thanks, Jesse.
Told you guys we were it's the best shop in town. It's not necessarily the best shop. I'll say that kind of loudish.
In what language did you say that?
Oh, German.
All right.
Well, Augustus, I'm
going to leave.
Was there anything else, or not Augustus? What he calls you by your code or your cover name? Was there anything else I could do for you today?
Not right now. We'll probably be back.
Okay. Well,
thank you though. Have a good one.
You too. You guys leave the shop.
Don't think we accomplished anything in that shop.
I don't think you did either.
We might come back either when he's not around, or I think so after we've left, I'd kind of say I think that our next step might be to inquire with your reading club, Mr. Augustus, and see what they know about the Mexican apothecary.
Yeah, told you it was a bit shady.
I thought incorrectly, clearly, that you might be able to better negotiate with this man, but
we're not on the best of terms.
You're not the best spy. So my question to, if you guys I would assume that there's probably something that I saw, like probably names or something that stood out to me from my background, my history that.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, stuff that you knew, but nothing that stood out.
Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I didn't see any part of that symbol anywhere in the shop.
No, not really.
You wouldn't see the Sphinx symbol in his shop. They don't associate with him that much.
If Ehrlichmann left that symbol there to lead whoever he wanted this note to get to, he could have put it somewhere.
Did anybody try smelling the books for a lemony scent?
No, but I don't think that's how he would do it. Can you put us in contact with your reading club? When do we next?
Absolutely.
When do they next normally meet?
It's the reading club itself is kind of open at all during regular hours, so they're open till like 9 p.m. every night, and it's just members can come and go. So it's kind of like a fitness club, but with books.
But so there aren't meetings or anything?
They do meetings and like discussions, but they're not specifically scheduled. The building is almost always open.
Gentlemen's club.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we should go there and see who's there right now. You can give some proper introductions and then shut your mouth.
Wow.
I see how you are.
Wow.
Well, we don't want people looking at our notes.
How are we supposed to ask him questions if we don't give him a little information? We didn't have to say who it was from.
But you showed him the notes.
We
No,
can
he
certainly
didn't
give him
actually show
some
them.
information, but what pieces of information you and I are not on the same pages of what we should be sharing.
You understand that your friend in the shop is at least a sympathizer, if not working for or with the Nazis, right? Did you not listen to the dialogue and the speech that we had in a shop that's still being run in a country that's being decimated unless you are Aryan? Let's put this together and let's think about it for a second. Now, a bunch of people who are not speaking German walked into his shop and decided to ask weird questions about funky notes. This was not well thought out.
We could have been working with the Nazis.
Speaking English, good job.
That was me that spoke English, but
Not the point. That's kind of my point. Is like it's not generalized to him, but it's said loud enough that everyone can hear clearly that I'm kind of chastising a bad decision.
So you guys are headed to the Sphinx Reading Club. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So you guys head on over. It is a the
Nothing personal, Jesse. I'm just playing my character.
Nor is mine. Yeah, I'm just a character.
the club is housed in what was once a private residence in the Himmel Fort Goss, the Gates of Heaven Street, close to the Ministry of Finance. When you enter, there is a smartly uniformed receptionist seated in the house's vestibule. Jesse, he greets you. You know that he's the gentleman that's normally out here. And
Is there like a secret handshake or something?
No. You're welcome in, and you're welcome to bring guests too.
Good. I'll greet him back.
So, okay. And you head on in.
Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
Does my character know that this is the Gates of Heaven district or whatever? Like you
Do you
just
speak
said?
German?
I have a 19.
Yeah, you can. It's the gates of heaven or the gates of glory or something. Like you get the idea of it.
Okay. I'm sorry, Rob. What's your character's name?
Astor.
Astor. Do you know if there's a district that's the Gates of History?
There is not.
There is not.
Okay, thanks.
Actually, Jesse's character would say that there is not.
Yeah, no,
Like,
there's
he's
no.
familiar with. You know that he's familiar with this.
Okay, well,
Right. I'm
then-
not the one familiar with the area. Jesse is.
That's fine. I'm just not going to acknowledge that that Mr. Augustus said that, but I'll just move on.
I'm going to smile at you a little bit, and then I think we're going to walk next to each other.
We're going to be best friends.
We got a bromance go. Phil and I's character like each other. This is the first time ever.
So, Jesse, you are familiar with the club. The club itself has a library of decent size, and it also provides all of its members with desks that lock, and then reading areas, and it's your standard like cigar and brandy sit around and talk kind of deal.
Did your buddy have a desk here? I would have asked that before we got in. If he was describing
Oh,
and
yeah.
talking about it, I would
Yeah.
ask if he
Yeah,
had a desk
it's
here.
got a locked desk.
Yeah, he
does
does have a desk.
All right. We don't know if
I'm
we
gonna
got
finish.
a key or...
I'm gonna finish real quick. On the second floor, there is also a quote unquote museum of sorts. It's more like this is where they put the stuff that they found, and it's not well kept. It's kind of cluttered, and there's a lot.
Look, I found the Ark of the Covenant. Meh.
Right. It's kind of like if you
The
imagine
shroud?
like an antique shop where they have a
Shroud.
lot of stuff.
What's that?
The Shroud of Christ.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
What's that one called?
The Shroud of Christ.
No.
Turan?
It's the Turan, the Shroud of Turan.
Yeah.
It's not here. Imagine. So Jesse, what you would know is that the quote unquote museum is more like an antique shop. You know how like those kitschy antique shops have stuff, but they're like on top of other stuff and next to a bunch of stuff, and it's
Yeah.
very tight. It's kind of like that.
Is it common knowledge that Earwolfman's dead?
Ehrlichmann?
Ehrlichman?
Write it down.
Two
Ear-
games.
Ear
2
Wolfman.
nights.
Nice.
2 full nights. And you still can't even get Ehrlichmann, at least.
At the end of the last, like midway through the last session, he was really good at Ehrlichmann.
Right.
Yeah.
He got the Ehrlichmann.
Ehrlichmann. I don't know. I don't even know how it's pronounced correctly now.
Now.
Wow.
Put a number on your brain.
Yes,
Is it common knowledge that he's dead?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it was a couple of days ago. It's not like it happened immediately.
Is there a thing the club does for like the members that have passed, or like a
a
little temporary shrine or something?
No, they'll hold an evening discussing that member's work. Kind of a very light wake.
When is that?
How was I dressed? I forgot.
I don't know, how were you dressed? You didn't say.
You're a Frenchman.
I'm
Yes,
not dressed like a Frenchman. Thank
I
you.
assume that you have white face paint,
Right.
a beret, and a black and white shirt and pants.
And
Right,
you
and I got
carry around
I
a
got the
glass
wig
of
too
wine.
going.
And
right.
yeah, you don't talk, but suddenly there's walls in front of you that are invisible.
Oh, we're going that direction.
Yeah.
Got you.
I said
that's
white face.
No, well, I mean, it's the curiosity because I assume Jesse's dressed decent.
I would assume that you all dressed in middle to middle upper class Austrian clothing, whatever would be appropriate. You're trying
Okay.
to blend in. I assume that's what you were doing.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then I would have probably tried to attempt to say that if we're coming in to look at his,
Right.
if we're going to look at his drawer,
Yeah.
we're settling his affairs, the affairs of his state.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking because it's relevant.
I would assume
to
you're
this
all in
case.
suits and ties. I mean,
Right.
like that's standard for the
So
day.
we would be. That's what our
Yeah.
cover would be. We're trying to settle this.
So this is 1930s Austria?
1939. Yeah.
Trying to settle his estate. There we
Okay.
go.
So,
So Jesse, we're trying to settle his estate.
Yes.
so do you mention that to the guy at the door?
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I'm sure that Secretary Seidler is here somewhere, which Jesse, is the club's secretary. The secretary essentially runs the place. I'll let him know that you're here to do so, but please feel free to go ahead and get started with taking care of his things.
Right. Well,
All
and their assumption is we're probably going to have the nice.
So you guys head on in. Jesse, you know where Ehrlichmann, it's Ehrlichmann, it is.
It's Ehrlichmann, yeah.
You know where Ehrlichmann's desk was. Unfortunately, you do not have a key.
I have a locksmith of 55.
I figure the secretary will, though.
Okay. Do you want to go? Well, but if you're settling his affairs, wouldn't you have a key?
The key.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Didn't he die in the wilderness?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't have recovered his items.
From his home.
It could have easily been lost at some point.
That's true. Would you like to try and pick the lock?
Yes.
Okay.
Critically failed.
First, I want you to roll hide or conceal.
1939 Austrian costume.
Yeah, that actually is what people are wearing as a protest against the Germans. Like, that's not a joke. That's
Right.
Lederhosen.
I got the hide.
Okay.
We're not wearing protest gear.
No.
You're not lonely goat herders?
I didn't get the locksmith.
How much were you off by?
Like 30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were like an 85?
Yeah.
I'll attempt it also, I guess.
Okay.
Shouldn't the secretary have a second key?
That's the assumption, but we don't know that for sure. It may be expected that we have the key. That
would I need to hide
that we'd
also?
have to know.
If
Jesse.
you don't want to get caught, yes, you'll need to hide. Also, if you have fieldcraft trained, I'll accept that as well.
36. I think I got my hide.
Okay.
It looks like it's a 60. It's hard to read on this photo.
Okay.
We can.
Move on.
Locksmith. Okay.
Why are you letting him do this?
Push the button. 40. I think I got it too.
Yeah,
you might want to look at that.
I looked at your locksmith. Yeah, you got the locksmith. So after you kind of try it and you're not having any luck, he slides in there and kind of pops the lock relatively quickly.
I visibly raise an eyebrow.
So
Twice I failed tonight. That's bad for me. I'm doing bad. I'm a bad spy.
sorry, I'm looking.
You're gonna get on my shit list.
Because I'm ever off your shit list.
We were bromancing just a little bit ago.
Yeah, you were just bromancing.
Yes, that's short-lived with his character. Have you not met Brian?
You
In
just got shown up by Augustus. I mean, come on.
in the desk, you find
Familiar with the Austrian locks?
10 or 15 loose leaf papers, like as though this is what you would take notes in, and they're not attached in anything. They are blank. They do not smell of lemon before you guys ask. It was coming. I know you were guys going to smell it now. And that's really about. I mean, like some writing utensils, some ink and pencils, but that's it. There's not much in there.
No secret
I'll
compartments.
take all of it so it looks like we're cleaning out his stuff. I'm not just going to
Yeah, no, we're taking everything.
But
Okay.
We're cleaning the whole thing out.
his desk, I'm going to kind of like feel his desk and see if he's like pressed real hard into it or something, you know.
Give me you and Rob's character Astor can give me a espionage.
I'll be keeping a lookout to see if when the secretary.
25 under 75.
Okay.
At
can roll
83 over something, I'm pretty sure. Unless my
Can you give me a spot?
Both of us or just him?
That's why I said Blake.
I didn't hear you say Blake.
Blake, can you give me a spot?
13.
Under. You made it.
Something high, yeah.
Okay. So you keep a good eye out. You do see the secretary coming just kind of as Astor and Augustus are finishing up going over the desk. Astor, you're pretty sure that there are no hidden anything like
Gotcha.
he didn't glue to like tape something under the desk. Like you're pretty solid that anything that would have been hidden here you've found and there's nothing to find.
Okay. I'm going to try to. Did you alert us that you saw the secretary coming?
Yeah, I kind of like tap my foot.
Okay, then I'm going to try to intercept so I can converse with them and be like, "Hey, we've got this covered. Everything is settled."
Okay.
Kind of just a generic like, "Hi." Introduce whatever our fake name we decided we didn't decide on.
You guys
And-
actually have covers.
Right, whatever our fake cover is.
Because
we decided not
Phil, what's your character's cover? Hans Gruber.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, yeah.
Phil has a cover. The rest of us said generic cover. Anyways, generic cover shakes their hand or introduces himself generic cover and just like, hey, we already had the key. We appreciate you stopping in.
An elderly gentleman with thinning snow white hair and an incredibly neatly trimmed goatee approaches you in a comfortable tweed suit.
Are we actually like incredulous?
What do you mean?
It's incredibly.
Incredibly neat.
Yeah. So am I actually incredulous when I see his goatee? I'm just like, dang.
He has spent some time on it. Do you know what? I'm only reading what the book says.
And this is why we follow modules now, I guess.
He shakes your hand. Good firm handshake.
Good.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Herr Grubenhofen. Write that down. Write it down. Grubenhofen.
I don't even have a pencil.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should have come prepared, Roberto.
You're the ones that carry the
your
pencils.
bag.
In your bag. I don't have them in my bag.
Grubenhofen?
Grubenhofen.
Spell like
Grubenhofen.
Greub.
I am Groot.
Gru, got it.
Hoef.
Yeah, no, I'm Gru now.
There's two F's. FF.
I am Groot.
I'm just Gru now.
Grubenhofen.
I am Groot.
Grubenhofen.
I'm just
I am
Gru.
Groot.
Not Groot, Gru. Gru, Gru.
Thank you, Herr Grubenhofen,
Gru.
for taking care of this. Of course, we understand that Mr. Ehrlichmann,
Ehrlichmann, yes.
Mr.
Ehrlichmann.
Ehrlichmann was a valued member of the society, and his absence will be noticed greatly.
Oh, yes, I'm sure. His wife is devastated.
Fiance is what you would have said because that was proper, but yeah, no. You
Whatever
would have
she
said the
was.
right thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, I've already met her.
We were
right.
so happy to see him back the last couple of weeks, especially with some of the interesting work he'd been doing in the library.
Such as? I was curious.
He thought that he had found some information, perhaps linking Atlantis to some past civilizations. There was not much more information than I'd gotten than that. He had a tendency to keep things to himself a little bit until he was finished, as a good researcher does. You don't want that kind of thing taken. But he could speak quite thoroughly on the subject. So,
very interesting.
So, unfortunately, he just didn't get a chance to finish his work.
I'd like for you to meet one of my colleagues and maybe to dialogue with her a little bit. She seems to be interested in this topic as well.
Yes, it's a slight irregularity to have a woman, especially one on her phone.
I'm looking up Austrian clothing in 1939.
At least she's fallen down a weird clothing rabbit hole about
I'm
1939
like, what am I wearing right now?
instead of like a Facebook rabbit hole.
So I'll say she's a very educated young lady, very non-traditional, but we let it go because her value is worth a while.
Fräulein, it's a pleasure to meet you. So you know much. You know some about you know some about Atlantis.
Yes, I do. Actually, I'm pretty well read on a few versions of the
really?
story. Plato, Donnelly, Theosophists. I would say it correctly.
I know you would. You tried.
And the world ice theory.
The world ice theory is very interesting. I don't believe it's correct though. Donnelly is those American nut jobs.
A bit. Well, I mean, speaking for my own, I wouldn't say
No,
that.
you would not say that. Oh, the jig is up. Nazis descend from the ceiling on their rapid descent ropes.
Oh my God.
I'm going to throw Jesse
Blake-
right at him.
Blake
And
pops
now
up
I'm the
behind
bad
him.
spy.
Yeah, you're gonna redeem yourself at this rate, Jesse.
So
Spy work,
you
friends
would
of the
not.
family.
You would definitely not have said that.
I would kind of chuckle and then agree with him.
So, well, it's good to see that one of the fair sex is so well educated on such things.
Well, thank you very much.
Where did you get your education? Roll a cult for me.
Miskatonic University.
No.
No. I mean, Oxford might be accepted, maybe.
Maybe.
What am I rolling?
Occult?
MNO.
You'd be better.
PQR.
40 under 69.
Okay. So you tell him, the university or something that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've a few colleagues that had gone there. Well, good. I'm glad that you found the university to your liking and had learned quite a bit. From the sounds of it, that is just merely the tip of that iceberg.
Yeah. Currently, I'm seeking a book that I have not read before by a German author, von. God bless it. I just. No, that's the name of the work.
You mean Wolfgang?
Wolfgang von Effer. God bless America.
Are you still on Parzival?
Yes.
Yeah, of course she is.
Von Eschenbach.
Eschenbach. I believe we have that in the library.
Oh, could you direct me to it? Or is that not appropriate?
No, he points at Augustus and says the appropriate name. Jesse, what's your character's cover name? It has to be German.
Strudel. Done.
Not Strudel.
If I can't be Gru,
Hasselhoff.
he can be Heffalump.
Hasselhoff. I accept Hasselhoff.
Heffalump.
Herr
Got it.
Hasselhoff.
Heffalump.
Herr Hasselhoff would have to, of course, take the book out in his name, but I'm sure that he would be happy to. If he's going to bring you to the reading club, he'd be happy to lend it to you from there.
That would be wonderful.
But go ahead. You guys are headed to you're going to head to the library then?
I would follow.
By yourself?
No. I would need
Are you guys all kind of going to the
I'm
library?
going because I kind of have to.
I can't remember what happened the last time in a library when we sent somebody by himself.
No, but nothing terrible happened in the library last time. But last time you went to a library, you ended up taking books out under your skirt, tied to your leg. That you gotten.
That wasn't Evie?
That was the other character. You, Shirley, your character.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So,
This is a proper place. We don't smuggle books out of here.
are you guys headed
And we don't
to?
poison entire villages.
Oh,
You know what?
Hey, don't speak for me.
yeah, not yet. Yeah, well, give it time. Give it time. Are you guys gonna all head to the library? No, you've emptied the desk into what I assume is some sort of briefcase or something along those lines.
Yeah,
I'm
sure we
gonna.
brought a-
I'm probably gonna stay down below and keep the pretense that I don't care about this. I'm just here for handling the affairs. I'm waiting for them to.
So you're gonna wait by yourself?
Yep.
No, if he's gonna stay, I'll let Augustus. I'm not
So-
gonna say this, but Augustus and his niece go.
Evelyn.
Oh, you're going to let us go off alone?
She has a name. Her name is Evelyn.
What's
I didn't
what's
say
your
anything
cover?
out loud. What are you judging me for?
Yeah. So Herr Hasselhoff, or I'm sorry, Herr Gruber and Grubenheffer. I don't.
Grew.
Grubenheffer.
Grew.
Heffen. Grubenheffen.
Grew.
Gruberheffen.
Grubenheffen?
Grew.
So the two of you will stay down, and then will stay kind of in the sitting area, and the other two will go into the library. Is that right?
Yes.
So we're splitting the party?
Sure.
Yep.
Excellent. That'll do us tonight for the Nerds Domain Presents Mask 7-Year Lithotep. Real quick, I'd like to remind you that we do have other podcasts. The Nerds Domain Presents Mask of Nyarlathotep is only one of 4 podcasts. You can check out those out at nerdsdom.com. and we would be happy to
there's not
have you
gonna be
as
a
the
pop
listeners.
quiz?
You guys have a great night.
And that will do it for us tonight on the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Remember, you can email us at nerdsdomain@gmail.com or find us on facebook.com/nerdsdomain, on Twitter @nerdsdomain, or over at our site, nerdsdom.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter while you're there. You can head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. We want to thank Josh Schott for our music. Don't forget, you can support us at patreon.com/nerdsdomain. And check out our shirts at slashloot.com.
This has been a production of the Southgate Media Group. For more podcasts like this one, head over to southgatemediagroup.com.